Welcome everyone to the Food is Freedom 5-day series. I like to call it a rampage, actually, like a 5-day rampage on loving food and loving our bodies. But this is really a little focused on food is my friend. And I love that topic. Just love, love, love that topic. And I want to let you know how things are going to go today, or how I'd like them to go, and they will go however they go, right? I'm going to start out with a short message to you. And Steve, I guess I can let everybody in. And Steve, you can talk to me. Steven is my husband and partner and business partner. And I think it's better if I just let everybody in. But I want you to talk to me, Steve, because otherwise I won't. I'm not going to be reading the chat.
I
So
think he's asleep.
excuse me?
I think he's asleep.
You better not be asleep. So just talk to me if you need to communicate with me, because I'm not sure I'll be checking the chat, but I need you to check the chat, please. Okay, so we're letting people in. Welcome everybody. Welcome to Food is My Friend series. My name is Rhonda Ryder, and I am the founder of Delicious Alignment. I am the author of the book Delicious Alignment: How 25 Women Learn to Love and Transform Their Bodies Using Abraham Hicks and the Law of Attraction. So what we're going to be doing today, just to give you a little rundown of how what I've sketched out, is I'm going to start out with a message about food is my friend. And I'm calling it sort of like a download, because I feel like I've gotten this download in the last 2 nights from Spirit, from Source, about this topic. And then I'll talk on that for about 10 minutes. Then we're going to move into some coaching. If anyone would like coaching or just has a question, it doesn't have to be this big coaching thing. It can be a Q&A. It can be, if you're more comfortable with that, or you want to actually have a conversation where I can coach you on a specific question or topic. And then I'm hoping that we will have a guest. Yes, there she is, Robin. I'm going to wave your hand, say hi. There's Robin. She's a student of group coaching. We were calling it Love Your Body, Love Your Life before. Now the next series is called Self-Love, Body Love, and Food Freedom. And she is also in the next one. And she has a beautiful prize to give out. We'll talk about that later. So then at the end, we're going to do some prizes. Everyone is eligible. It's just there are 2 prizes, but they're really cool prizes, I think. And we'll do that at the end. And I want to say that anyone that's on the Zoom that requests coaching, you don't actually have to get coaching, but you're on the Zoom and you're requesting coaching, because I don't know how many people we'll get to. Maybe we'll get to everyone. Maybe, it just depends on the timing. You will be entered into the drawing for a grand prize on Friday. Those grand prizes there's like 3 of them or 4 of them that will be announced on Friday. And you don't have to be present to win those prizes, but you do need to be on at least one of the Zooms and ask a question or ask to be coached. Okay, well, great. First thing I want to say before I go into my message is that the next program, Self-Love, Body Love, and Food Freedom, starting on January 19th. And I also want to share that I've decided to give away 2 coaching sessions to the first 15 people that sign up for that. And that is a $300 value. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm in a program called the Evoke Method Practitioners. It's run by Gina Mallison, and right now I'm a level 2 Evoke Method practitioner, which I use this in my coaching. And she would like me to get to a level 3, so she wants me to do lots more of sessions. So I figured, what better way than to give those away, also as an incentive for people to join us in the next program. So you will get, when you're one of the 15 to join, and the people that have already joined as well, they'll get that as well. Okay. Wonderful. So I'm just taking a few deep breaths because I want to, get back in touch with this message that I received the other night about food is my friend. And, we are all channelers. Abraham is a channeler, and we are all channelers. I'm a channeler when I'm speaking to you. You're a channeler when you're speaking to me. So we're channeling our inner being, our source. So right now I really want to tap in and relax a little bit because I was a little nervous just because I'm doing this new technology thing, and I just want to tap in to the message that I received the other night about food is my friend. And what I want to say about that today, I want to talk about the power of now. I want to talk about the power of now when it relates to everything in our lives, of course, but in this particular subject of food is my friend, I would like to address that in my own experience when going from where I used to be, where this obsessiveness about food, obsessiveness about my body, how I looked, and all of that. I would not say that I was in the moment. I was either in the future or the past. I was worried about what I'm eating right now and how is it going to affect me in the future, like tomorrow. How is it going to, add another layer of fat to my thighs, whatever, like seriously, I would go to all these places and sort of be obsessed about it. And I don't want to focus on that too much. I want to focus on where I am today, but letting you know that that is being in the future. So being in the now was a really big shift. And it can be that for you too. When you realize I'm having a thought, I'm having a judgmental thought about what? About what I just ate or about what I want to eat. I'm having a judgmental thought. And what is that really? What is a judgmental thought? It is being in the future or the past, concerned about how this thing that I just ate is going to affect me, is going to affect my body, is going to affect my mood, my emotions, my whole future, my whole life, right? It's like my whole life depends on the fact that I just ate this cupcake because it means so much. It means like it, we can make it mean so much. So as I'm talking, I want you to think about any questions you might have that you'd like to get coaching on or you'd like to ask about. So just listen to the words and see what questions bubble up to the surface for you. So for instance, when I first started working with my Abraham coach, I found an Abraham coach and she was amazing. And I would tell her, yeah, well, I want to talk about, I ate this thing last night. She'd say, how's everything going? Well, I ate this last night. And she would say, so what? So what? How do you feel? Was it good? Did you enjoy it? I love telling that story. And she helped me to start being in the moment. So now where I am, where if I eat something, I am really, really consciously present with what I'm eating. I am so present to how it tastes, the texture, appreciating it. I just interviewed Rachel Hambling for a podcast the other day that'll be coming out soon. And she said, everything she eats now, she says, this is blessed to my body. This is blessed to my body. And that's how she's bringing herself into the moment. So when I am, or anyone is eating something, and feeling like judging, like we're feeling the emotion of judging, we are in the future or the past. We're worried about the future or we're worried about going backwards. So I invite you to think about it in a new way. So here's a tip that you can do. When you notice that you're judging yourself, you're eating something or you want to eat something, and you're judging yourself for that, either, criticizing yourself, beating yourself up, whatever, I invite you to stop for a moment, take a deep breath, and just bring yourself back to the moment and say, what can I say to myself right now? What can I say to myself right now that would soothe me? What can I say to myself right now that would bring me back into this moment? And here's something even better. What can I feel right now? How do I want to feel? Because your emotions are the way that you bring yourself up the vibrational scale. And when you bring yourself up the vibrational scale to a better feeling emotion, you begin to attract other better feeling thoughts. So you begin to vibrate at a higher level, and now you're attracting more empowering thoughts, more empowering emotions. So my message to you today is to practice the power of now. Practice being in the now as it relates to your food. Think about your food as an opportunity for you to be in the present moment. There are so many quotes from Abraham that talk about this and how feeling good when you're eating the food is really the key. So if you're celebrating your food, if you're appreciating your food, if you're tapping into the vibration of appreciation, then it really doesn't matter what you're eating. And that can be just, it still blows my mind. Even when I say it right now, every time I think about it, it's not about the food. And that's going to be tomorrow's topic message is going to be more about, it's not about the food. But really, it's, Abraham talks about how it's the vibration of, and the thoughts and the emotion you're attaching to that food right now. So what are you thinking about that food right now? Say you really want that cupcake, but you're like, oh, I shouldn't have that. I shouldn't have that. Well, what if you got in the moment and just really felt the vibration of how you want to feel? What is the emotion that you want to feel? And let me tell you guys, it's really about emotions. And we're going to go into that during this 5-day series. And the Evoke Method that I do helps you calibrate your emotions. And in the program we're starting January 19th next week, I offer calibrations, which means I'm calibrating you up the vibrational scale. I'm helping you. We're doing it together. We're co-creating. So I just invite you to think about that when you're thinking about food as my friend. Think about how you want to feel right now. And because maybe you're feeling some, contrast about it, about judging, and just think, how do I want to feel? And how you want to feel does not mean you've got to change this current thought. You can pivot and think about something else. As I know y'all know, you can pivot and just think about a totally different subject that feels better. The universe knows. Source knows what you want. You don't have to always focus on it. Your job is to feel good, to continually practice feeling better emotionally. And that's how it gets better. It continues to get better. That is my message for today, and that's perfect. It was 15 minutes. Perfect. That's what I wanted. That's amazing. So at this point, I am going to open it up to questions for anyone who would like coaching on Zoom. You can either raise your hand or you can hit the reaction button and raise your hand that way. And it can be on any subject, regarding food and your body and self-love and all of that. If you would like to raise your hand. And can you explain the Evoke method? And then we have Anne-Marie also. Great. So I'll go ahead and answer that question, and then I'll go to Anne-Marie. Let's see, there's a few more chats in there. Okay. I'm not able to see the chat, Stephen, just so you know. Okay. So the Evoke method is developed by Gina Mallison, and what we do is that's explaining how we do it, but what it is really is calibrating a wobble in your vibration. It could be about anything. Like, for instance, the other day I got a calibration by another practitioner, Evoke Method practitioner, on jealousy. I was feeling these feelings of jealousy in a certain situation, and it's so wonderful because we transcend that feeling, that subject, and move into more of imagery and thinking about what where the emotion is in my body, and then transforming that into an image. So I kind of forget, the practitioner guides me to forget about the issue for a few moments, and I'm focused on the image I'm seeing, and then I transform that and we eventually get to feeling better emotionally. So I'm moving up the vibrational scale, and usually I am experiencing so many insights at the end of it about the original subject, because I'm at a higher vibration, and I'm tapping into source, tapping into my inner being. So I'm seeing it from the viewpoint of my inner being now. I'm seeing the original topic that I got a calibration on, that I wanted to feel better about. And in this instance, the insights that I came up with was that I felt like I had to fight for everything I want my whole life, and it was just so freeing. It was amazingly freeing to see that. And I got to this place of, we are all one. I got to this place of we are all one, and I experienced some amazing freedom. So I moved up the vibrational scale from jealousy to freedom. And so when I calibrate people, it's not only about food or body, because everything is related. I mean, it's really about what the wobble is right then and there at that time. And you can watch some of the videos on YouTube. I'll post them here, and see some of the calibrations that I've done to help explain it better. But I'm going to go ahead to Anne-Marie and unmute you, Anne-Marie, if you're ready. Okay. Steve, do you want to unmute Anne-Marie for me? Ask to unmute. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Great.
I have a question about, I love the idea about being aware about what I'm eating, what is taste, the texture, but I'm also aware about if I eat together with other people, my mind can easily go into the conversation or just run away. And so have you some idea about how do I change the pattern from eating and just eating for eating, and so change my mindset and the pattern and my awareness to taste it and be in my mouth and taste what's going on, and at the same time, I don't expect myself to be in the middle of the conversation and be able to do that, but how do I mix that? How can I be
Yeah.
in my family at the same time and eat together with them at the same time?
Yes. So very good question. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And I think that most things that we're doing are habits. Most things that we're thinking are habits of thought. So it sounds like you have a habit of thought. Just it's built up some momentum. It's built up some reoccurrence. It's just the way you kind of do things. Maybe when you're with your family, is that you focus on, um, whatever it is you're focusing on. You're getting lost in the conversation, and then maybe what I'm hearing you saying is that you're not able to get present or understand how you could be present in the moment when you're eating, when you're with your family. Maybe you can do that when you're by yourself because you don't have so many distractions. But when you're with your family, it may be more of a challenge because you have many distractions, you have many family dynamics going on, and there maybe are emotions and all sorts of things happening. So, like with anything, it's practice, and you start out by practicing being in the moment when you're by yourself, and then you can start to practice being in the moment when you're in a group as well. Sometimes you might even decide to excuse yourself and go into the bathroom and sit there for 5 minutes and just quiet your mind.
Yeah.
There's so many distractions happening. And isn't that the beauty of life? I mean, we're not going to be secluded in a little room by ourselves all the time. Most of us want to go out into the world and interact and be with our families and be with our friends. So it's really a practice, and not to be too hard on yourself when you're with your family. I mean, growing up, we all have different family dynamics, especially with food, getting together. I mean, I remember for me, um, it was a big trigger being around big family gatherings. And, I would typically go home and binge, because I wanted to binge there, but I didn't want to do it in front of everybody. So I would, so it was, so with this work, I've learned how to be in the moment, even when I'm around large groups of people, and not like freak out when I'm around so much food. It's, oh my gosh, it's just so amazing. I can't begin to explain, the freedom that I feel around food. And it's just, I'm so grateful every day because being in large groups used to trigger me. And now it's like I'm just shamelessly enjoying my food. I'm not embarrassed to really enjoy it and savor it. So I hope that helps. Anne Marie, do you have any follow-up question?
Yeah. Because what kind of new focus should I go into? You're talking about appreciation, celebration, taste, and texture. So what I inspired to is to take one step at a time and say, okay, I start with celebrate food, and go from there to, okay, I appreciate my food, or another way around. But can you tell me what is your new experience? What is your new mindset about what can I have? When I listen to Abraham, I love to being helped to be aware about, oh, that can I thinking about, that could I focus on, that could I appreciate, because it feels like I'm used to thinking in this way, but I have to change, and it's new for me. So I don't see it, I don't know it. So what can I expect? What can I rise out to say that is what I want to learn to bring into my awareness about food?
Yes, great question. And I think it goes back to the original topic and message of today is practicing being in the moment, because really the answer is within you, Anne Marie. What is going to be the right answer for you is going to be different for me, is going to be different for Joe, for Robin, for Jamie. So as you practice being in the moment with your food,
Yeah.
yes, that's right. Exhale, right? As you practice being in the moment, as you're eating or as you're thinking about what you're going to eat, you will begin more and more to get insights about how you can continue to evolve, how it can continue to unfold for you. And it will get better and better, but in my own experience it has gotten better, incrementally. It was baby steps over time, and I know I would like to have it gone faster, but for me it was baby steps over time, just beginning to, oh, I ate that bread pudding last night and I'm not depressed today. you know I'm not beating myself up, or, oh, look at that, I'm eating this, I'm at a birthday celebration and I'm deciding to have a piece of cake, and I don't want to go home and just eat a whole half a cake or more myself. And this is me. I was a binger. Not everybody is a binger. But for me, those were, and I started to see the thoughts. I started being in the moment and noticing what's going on. Wait a minute. What did I just say to myself? Did I just say that I am never going to lose weight, and when I was single, nobody's ever going to want to marry me or something? You know what I mean? Like, did I just say that to myself? And then go, okay, how can I soothe that thought? Or how can I pivot and think of something else? So again, I think it's catching yourself in the moment, practicing being in the moment, because we're either if we're not doing that, we're in the future worrying about it, or we're in the past, worrying about something we already did, or history repeating itself. Thank you for your question.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your answering.
Yes. Does anyone have a question or a comment? Yes, Robin.
Yeah, I have a comment. I was just thinking about what you two were just talking about, and what came to me that I just had a lunch out with a friend yesterday, and I noticed that I really tasted the food. I really enjoyed what I was eating, and I enjoyed the companionship. And maybe it was easier because it was just one person, but I was focusing a lot more on listening. And I was just thinking now that listening is more like taking in what she was saying, and taking in the food, and not so much on solving her problems or speaking my opinion. I was more taking it in, and I seemed to, I don't know if I wasn't really thinking about it, but I seemed to really enjoy the food more too. And I think she enjoyed my companionship because I was in a receptive mood, and I kind of got what was on her heart, and she needed to have somebody identify with her. So anyway, and it's slowing. Did I say slow down? Slowing down. Really, if you just tell yourself slow, so you can put your fork down or your spoon down in between bites, and just give yourself time. So those
Yeah.
are my ideas.
And what's really, thank you, Robin. And two things I wanted to say about that. One thing is, I've noticed that now food is my friend. I eat more when I'm hungry. Before I used to really not eat so much when I was hungry. I would just eat, eat all day long. But like for sport, but like now it's like I really enjoy eating when I'm hungry. So um if I'm really, really hungry, I can't slow down. I'm just so hungry. And I love that too. I love that part. But I like what you're saying about that. And I think that listening, as you were saying, Robin, you were really so present with your friend, it sounds like. You were so receptive to her. And that is being in the moment. You're really not able to fully listen to someone or fully be receptive and give them that space, that attention, if you're not in the moment. So you were obviously really in the moment practicing that, and then you were also present with your food as a result, in enjoying your food, but at the same time enjoying your friend. So it sounds like you were able to be present to both, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. So um, thank you for demonstrating that. Next question. Yes, Jamie. Steve, can you?
I got it.
Please?
Yeah. Um, Actually, I just want to make a comment about what Robin was saying. Well, about both you guys, Anne Marie and Robin. I just was thinking back to a dinner I had with a friend last Wednesday, and I was not calm and taking it slow, and I was kind of trying to listen, but I had all this other stuff that was going on that I wanted to tell her about. And we were at a restaurant eating one of my favorite things, which is pho, the Vietnamese noodle soup. And I could, as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking I can even barely remember it, just because I was so wrapped up in in talking and in honestly not listening, and I want to be better at that. So and be better, of course. Like like you said, Robin, set the fork down or the spoon or whatever, and just slow down and listen. Yeah, that's a big one. So anyway, thank you. I'm sure I'll have more questions. This is the first time I've talked to anybody or listened to anybody about Abraham. This is, or about law of attraction and everything. So it's very exciting. So thank you.
Mhm. So Jamie, would you be willing to just do a short little exercise? And all we're going to do is I'm asking you to close your eyes and take a deep breath, really, and just think about that experience. Yes? Okay. Can
Yes.
yeah,
Sorry, yeah.
yeah, and anyone who wants to go ahead and follow along. So Jamie, I want you to close your eyes and take a deep breath and exhale. And bring yourself back to that moment when you were with your friend. You were having Vietnamese food. Is it pho or pho? Pho.
I
I've been
learned from a
saying,
Chinese missionary that it's actually called pho, but anyway.
I've been saying it wrong. Okay.
Mhm.
And I just tried it a couple of weeks ago and I love it now. So I want you to imagine you're back there and you're with your friend and you've got the pho in front of you, and I just want you to imagine the steam coming up. Just imagine being in the moment right now, and that steam coming up through your nostrils. How does it smell?
Sorry, I'm like, you're asking. It's warm and rich and smells like anise and basil and yummy things.
Mm, yeah, now I want you to imagine, go ahead and taking a taste. Just enjoy it. Take that taste. Yeah. And how does How does that feel in your body?
Yeah, definitely warm and comforting, and the rice noodles are yummy
Yeah,
and feel indulgent, really.
yeah, wonderful. So that's it, really. There you go. I want you to take a deep breath in and open your eyes and just know that you can do that in your imagination anytime.
Mm.
And like Robin said, you could slow down and just, it is funny, like Anne-Marie said, it's when we're with other people, it might be, a little bit more of a challenge, but that's okay. It's practice. Practicing our vibration, practicing enjoying the food, really getting present to the food.
So what is the meditation that I just did? Is that something I can do like beforehand, or is it just a good way to even practice right now?
Yeah, I would say you can practice it on your own and just use your imagination even when you're not eating. But like say you are at a, you're having a meal with someone or by yourself, and just really in real time get present to
Mm.
the food. Get really present to the food. Like when I'm sitting down to eat now, I'm usually really hungry, and I'm just like so excited about what I'm about to eat because I'm hungry. And I am appreciating it. And my dad lives with us, and he just looks at me like I'm crazy sometimes because I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. This is so amazing. And it's just, it could be the simplest thing, like a grilled cheese sandwich or something. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't had a grilled cheese sandwich in like years. And I'm like, this is amazing. So just getting present to the food, just getting present. And even if you're eating when you're not hungry, I mean, over time I'm eating more and more and more only when I'm hungry, but there are still times when I'll have something, and it's just it's for comforting or something like that, and I don't make myself wrong about it anymore. And if I do, I have the tools to go back and say, wait, I'm judging myself, and that judgment is really bringing me down vibrationally. Is that what I really want? So I would say practice being in the moment, practice really smelling the amazing sense of the food, the sensation, like the texture, just really appreciating. You could even go into, I'm appreciating the people that prepared this food. I'm appreciating um, the the land that grew this vegetable, or whatever it is, whatever you could think of. Just bringing yourself to appreciation and being in the moment. And of course, meditating and getting quiet anytime you want. You can meditate about anything. You can meditate about that experience of enjoying. Yes, thank you for your question. Next question or comment? Yes, Anne-Marie. Unmute yourself. Yes.
Yes, I just, through this conversation, figured out that I really enjoy cheese, but I not necessarily allow myself to eat it. So that means I eat it really, really fast, because so it's gone, and I get what I want. And that is something crazy, but it's wonderful to be aware about. It is really a pattern for me. I eat the food that I really enjoy. I eat it fast because so I get it all. I don't know what, but it's just wonderful to be aware about. I have right here in my book, I will enjoy everything I eat, even cheese, because that is so wonderful for me to be aware about I mean, I love vegetable and it's wonderful to eat, but sometimes cheese is really good. So this to allow myself to feel I can be healthy even when I eat cheese and even if I eat a lot of cheese. That is really something wonderful and new for me to bring me from this meeting today.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, I love these insights. And I think that if you're eating cheese and it feels good to eat it fast, eat it fast. And if you have a thought, I would really, or a desire to eat it more slowly, do that. So it's all about what feels good and learning how to get more and more away from judging ourselves.
Yes.
Yes, and it's a journey. It's an ongoing journey, and you sometimes I still judge myself. And like I said, I have the tools. I have certain things. Yeah, I talk about it, and like certain things I eat that yes, I want to get more playful about it, more less serious about it. Just lighten up, lighten up about it. That it's okay that I eat those things. I loved when I interviewed Rachel the other night, and she was talking about how no matter what she eats, it's blessed to her body. She uses those words. This is blessed to my body. Because she has released a lot of weight. And so I asked her, do you look at your food and do you pick and choose by like, maybe I should eat less of this and more of this because I want to release pounds. And she said she actually doesn't even do that anymore. She's just like everything she eats, if she wants something, she has it. And she says, this is blessed to my body. This is blessed to my body. And that was amazing to me. I love that idea that we can get to that place, but really just accepting where you are now is that it's okay. Wherever you are now is there's like, no, getting to that place where you're not judging it. So if you eat cheese and you eat cheese fast, maybe maybe you're enjoying it so much and you're just like, and that's the pace you want to enjoy that cheese at. So imagine like getting to a place where you're not even judging the pace at which you're eating it. Really, really, really good. Because the judging puts us into, we're worried about the future, or we're worried about the past, or we think we're going to repeat the past. So if I'm eating this cheese too fast, then I'm probably concerned about something, right? That might happen, a consequence. But if I'm really totally in the moment, and if I'm eating that cheese fast, or I'm eating it slow, and I'm just really allowing myself to have that experience and enjoy that experience without judgment, that is such a win, such a big win, to be in the moment and allow ourselves this joy that comes with a human experience. I mean, it's human to eat food. It's a physical thing. We are in physical bodies right now, and we get to have this experience. So it's wonderful to learn how to enjoy it without all the judgment. And you can. This is absolutely doable. Because I've experienced it, and now so many people that gone through my programs have, so it's absolutely there for all of us, and we go at our own pace, being in the moment with the food. And then I just love what's come up today is like being in the moment with the people also that we're with. We can get better and better at that as well. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. So I keep looking, is it time to do prizes yet? I love doing that too. I want to talk about the prizes today are
Sorry, could I add something?
Yes.
I'm loving this conversation, and it brought to mind, there was a video that I watched of Dr. Bruce Lipton, and he was talking about communion that he had with himself, about recognizing that we are source energy first and foremost, and that the body here is like a television set, that we're just the antenna. And during his communion with himself, the question came to mind, well, if I'm, this source energy, why do I need to be in this antenna of a body? What's the purpose of it? And he said that there was a very specific answer that came to him, and it said, what does chocolate taste like? And I loved that because it pinpoints a lot of what Abraham says, that we're here to experience it. And, source energy, we are non-physical, but that doesn't have the experience that we have here as physical. And so I loved the way that Bruce Lipton connected that, yeah, what would chocolate taste like? How can you even describe that? How can you describe what love feels like? It's so much more accentuated in this physical body. And I think like everybody has contributed to that conversation here today, that it's about enjoying that. And I think, like, even just that little meditation that you did, I've never even had pho, but when you just did that meditation with us, I felt like I was having it. And that's like, it's remarkable how much we can input into this physical experience without even having the physical experience. But I mean, even with, having, and this is something that even I've struggled with, Anne-Marie, in terms of eating with my family, and, there's so much conversation and so many opinions. And I kind of always try to pull it back in my mind to stuff that Abraham says, that it's not even about necessarily the topic, it's about the vibration of that emotion. So even the satisfaction that we get in spending time with that family, it doesn't matter if it's related to our food, we're in that vibration of satisfaction, which I think it affects everything. Sorry, I just wanted to add that because everything that you guys were talking about, it brought to mind that Bruce Lipton conversation, and I thought that was so perfect.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. I love Bruce Lipton, and I love what you said about what does chocolate taste like? What is the purpose of us being here? And as Abraham tells us, it's just for the joy of it. And lately, I have been feeling like it's also for remembering who we really are. So it's for the joy of it and remembering who we really are, that we are source. I mean, just like take that in for a moment. We are source, and we are simply here to enjoy this experience. So that whole thing about what does chocolate taste like? What does life taste like? What does love taste like? What does this journey taste like? And there is absolutely all the reasons in the world that we get to enjoy what chocolate tastes like, or whatever cheese tastes like, life tastes like. We have a desire, such a strong desire to enjoy these things. And for some reason along the way, whatever reason, it doesn't really matter why, we got the idea in our head that we don't deserve to enjoy the food, or there's some shame to be had around that, or what's wrong with me that I don't know how to manage this topic in my life. So we just got this idea. It's just a habit, a momentum of thought. And wow, to get to the other side of that and realize and experience it through practice, through practicing new habits of thought, through elevating our emotions up the scale, up the vibrational scale. So yeah, thank you. I'm going to say Tahira. Thank you for that. Tahira. Yeah, I love that. I love that analogy, because I love chocolate, guys. And I really enjoy my chocolate now. Absolutely. Yes, yes. Any other questions? I'm ready to take a comment or question. Actually, Stephen is going to be coming in with some names in a hat in a few seconds. And he doesn't like to be on film, so I'm going to stop the video just for a second because he's very shy. He doesn't want to be on camera. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video for 1 second. Okay, Steve. And so, thank you, everyone. Okay, wonderful. Yes, there we go. Great. Yeah, so Robin, actually, I've wanted to bring you on, didn't I? And ask you about your experience with the Love Your Body programs. The new one is called Self-Love, Body Love and Food Freedom. The other programs were called Love Your Body, Love Your Life. But they're similar and they're group coaching programs. And I have some different things I'm bringing in to it this time. But yes, if you could unmute yourself, and I would love to hear, I'll let you tell people what you've gotten out of the programs. You've been with me from the beginning, so.
Yeah, well, I met Rhonda about 4 years ago, and we realized that we had Abraham in common right away. And it's just really great to have a friend who understands these practices. I manifested a new amazing relationship, my own house, a whole new life through Abraham. And it was like literally walking into heaven. So I am a firm believer. and Rhonda's, I just was so impressed at how Rhonda wrote this book and came up with this method that I think is so valuable, especially in our country right now. I think it's just like the answer to so many people's issues. And I just love being in the class because I like the connection with the other people and to realize that I'm not alone in my habits and thinking, and to laugh about it. And just the focus of loving myself, because, you know, it seems like maybe that's what would cause me to eat more than I really wanted, was thinking, I'm not happy, I want to make myself happy, you know. But if you treat, you know, like you're the whole person and you start appreciating more of life and loving life and being grateful for what you can, like maybe there's things in our lives that isn't so great, but there's always other things that are great. I mean, a lot of us have it so much better than so many people in the world, and we should appreciate where we are, even if it's humble. And so, yeah, just the whole focus of not making a devil out of food, but realizing that we can really appreciate it and love it and enjoy it. And, you know, nothing's off limits, but just to embrace it as a friend, you know, and then just have a better self-coach in your thought, like a self-coach that's just very compassionate. I think loving yourself is probably the answer to almost everything.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. I love what you said, Robin, about, you know, having a self-coach. And when I started actually having a coach, a person, that was great, because then I would hear her voice in my head, you know, when I would eat something and it would be like, oh, and I'd hear her voice. So what? Did you enjoy it? Was it good? You know, I hear she's from New Jersey. I'm originally from Queens. So I'd hear that New Jersey voice and I'd go, so what? and eventually I started then hearing my own voice in my head, self-coaching myself, like Robin's talking about, like, it's okay, and soothing myself. And yeah, so thank you, Robin. Yeah, you've just been such a a great cheerleader all along with this program, and I know it's made a difference in your life, and you're joining us again, so that's awesome. And do you have a print that you said that you would like to donate to the prize today? I'm so thankful and appreciative of you doing that.
Yeah, I have this little print. Moving to the Appalachian Mountains was a real big inspiration to me. We came in the winter, exactly 4 years yesterday. And I noticed that I could really still see beauty in the winter, even when the trees were empty and you could see through to the mountains. And this little print that I'm going to show you it reflects the idea of the simplicity of life, living in a humble, smaller, I love minimalism. I just love getting rid of stuff we don't need that takes too long to clean, and having a small home, but one that is in a really beautiful place and has animals. So this is a little Appalachian cabin up in the mountains, and you can see it there. There's a couple of dogs, there's a rocking chair, and it kind of symbolizes getting in touch with yourself. Like, I imagine if I was a writer, being up in this little cabin and being able to really think to myself, what is it I love? What is it I want to do? And
Thank
yeah.
Thank you. That's so pretty.
It's canvas. It's sided like this black, and then it's kind of canvas.
So thank you, Robin. So I have a bowl here of the names of people that are attending, and so that, and also I have this joy necklace. It is from Jill Hofer, and it says joy, and it's Abraham key, and it has the initials of Abraham, AH. I actually wear mine every day. I've got it on. So she has donated this, and her website is niceworld.com. And then Robin's is in the notes. Just say your website real quick.
It's my name. I can write it here too in the chat. It's Robin Wethy Altman.
Yes, go ahead and do that, and okay. Also we'll put that in the Facebook. So these are the two things. This is like I said, it's the joy key. Joy is the key. And for anyone who lives outside of the US, we will give you a different prize. I'm sorry. It's just I didn't want to have Robin ship it to outside the US. I'm going to give you a really amazing prize if you win and you live outside the US, but it will be different than the painting or the joy key. Okay, so we're going to have two prizes. So here's the bowl that he just handed me. And let's see, the first person to win the joy key is, and I think Tahira, did I see your hand up? I'm gonna, if you do, that's fine. I'll go back to you. So
no, I was just clapping for Robin's artwork.
Oh, thank you. She is an amazing fine artist. Amazing.
Yeah, it's
check out our website. Cindy Kennedy.
Wow, thanks. That's
You're
awesome.
Welcome. So you have won the joy key. So get with me and we'll get that out to you. Are you in the US?
Yeah, in Illinois. I also wanted to know how much the coaching costs.
The program?
Yeah.
Yes, it's $127. And thank you for reminding me. It's deliciousalignment.com/I-love-me.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yes, and it starts next week on Wednesday. And thank you for reminding me about that. I wanted to say that when I'm doing.
Can you put that in the chat? That address in the chat for me?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Steve, can you do that? Put that in the chat. The link to the.
Already on it.
Thank you. And I want to say that what we're doing differently this time, I'm really excited about. So before we would meet on Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock Eastern. We go to about 8:30. And now we're doing that. And then also on Thursday at 12 Eastern, I'm doing another hour for anybody that wants to get calibrated, which meaning I'm going to take you through the Evoke Method. And so that's just like an open window for anybody that wants to come in and I'll, usually can do two calibrations, but you never know, we could get to 3. But you can also watch it and still get so much out of it. A lot of people get a lot out of watching these calibrations and just maybe closing your eyes and listening or watching and observing, and you see how it's done. So the idea is to feel better emotionally, and that's what we do. That's the name of the game, is to move ourselves up. Okay, now for Robin's thing, Robin's print, beautiful painting. I am going to pick one out. And this is Laura. Laura, congratulations. I think you're in the US. You have won. So get with us and get with me and on Facebook, and we'll get the address to Robin so you can ship that out. Yeah, wonderful. Tomorrow we will meet the same time, same place, and I will start with a message like I did today. And the message is going to be about, it's not about the food, it's about your vibration. And if we have time, we'll do a short meditation or tuning exercise, tuning into an emotion, which is really, really fun, really cool. I'd like to fit that in tomorrow. I think we also have a guest tomorrow. So any last words? Anyone have a comment or a question? I'll take another question. Yes, Anne-Marie.
The recording you have made today, will that be possible to look again?
Yes, it should be live it should be on Facebook in the group. And then the Zoom, I think I'll post on YouTube when it's ready. So that should be ready tonight, I would assume.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, great. So please join us back tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. Laura, so you heard that you won the painting? Congrats, and congrats to everyone for being here and joining me in this conversation. Please join me again tomorrow if you're able to. I would love to see your faces. And great, have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.